Baby, listen. Y'all need to lock in right now because I am about to walk you through one of the most jaw-dropping fashion catastrophes the internet has witnessed this entire year. And I'm not exaggerating one single syllable. Pull up a chair, grab your tea, grab your snacks, grab whatever you need to get comfortable, because Caressa Shields has done it again, child. She has done it again. And when I tell you Papoose' better half pulled up to the public eye in a getup so loud, so confusing, so geometrically impossible, that grown men were rubbing their eyes wondering if they had finally lost their last shred of sanity. Y'all, I am not playing with you. This ain't a drill. This ain't a rumor. This ain't somebody's distant cousin sending blurry screenshots from a burner account. The footage is real, the photos are crystal clear, and the entire timeline has been on its knees laughing since the moment those images dropped. Now, before we dive into the deep end of this seafood platter of fashion crimes, let me set the table for the brand new viewers floating into this channel for the first time. If you don't already know who I'm talking about, Caressa Shields is the lady who currently rolls with Papoose. Yeah, that Papoose, the legendary Brooklyn lyricist, the same gentleman who used to be hand in hand with Remy Ma for what felt like 150 years of hip-hop history. Once that whole chapter folded, Papoose stepped into a fresh romance, and Caressa became the new face of his social media feed. Cool, beautiful woman, camera-loving energy, confidence for days. We've been rooting for her on the surface. But baby, somewhere between the engagement glow and the social media spotlight, this lady got it in her head that she's a stylist, a runway icon, and a futurist trendsetter all rolled into one. And the results have been straight up criminal. I'm telling you, somebody needs to put a velvet rope around her closet and charge admission, because what came out that wardrobe today belongs in a museum of bad decisions. Let me paint the picture for the people who haven't seen the photos yet. She stepped out hand in hand with Pap, in a purple ensemble so blindingly grape-flavored that I genuinely thought somebody had spilled a pitcher of Kool-Aid on the lens. Picture every shade of disco-funk lavender mashed together, then dipped in glitter water, then pressed into the silhouette of a 1970s roller rink hostess, and you're getting close. The fabric had no business behaving the way it did. The cut had no business existing in this decade, and the whole vibe screamed, I just dove headfirst into a thrift store dumpster and rolled around in it until something stuck. Sis, I am begging you. Please. I am on my knees pleading. What are we doing here? What kind of villain origin story are we writing with this fit? Because last time I checked, you were a former pageant queen with stylists on speed dial. Where did the team go? Did somebody quit? Was there a strike? Did the whole glam crew leave a post-it note on the mirror that said, "Good luck, you on your own today"? Because that is the only logical explanation I can come up with. But here is where it gets nasty. And I do mean nasty in the gossip tea sense, not the wholesome sense, because the outfit ain't even the headline attraction. Oh no, the real main event, the heavyweight champion of this disaster, the reason your auntie's been blowing up the group chat all afternoon, is the footwear. Y'all, the shoes. I cannot stress this enough. The shoes are the reason we are gathered here today. The shoes are the reason therapists are getting overtime calls. Those things on her feet are not shoes. Let me be very crystal clear with the audience tonight. Those are not shoes. Those are exhibits. Those are evidence. Those are something a forensic team takes pictures of and bags up at a crime scene. Because whatever she had strapped to her ankles looked like a science experiment that went sideways at a NASA laboratory. They looked like construction equipment. They looked like the front loader from a children's tractor cartoon. They looked like somebody welded together a toaster, a soup ladle, and a brick of Tupperware and called it haute couture. Now I want you to really sit with that picture for a second. I want you to close your eyes. Actually, no, don't close your eyes. Keep watching this video. Smash that subscribe button. But I want you to imagine. Imagine a woman who can barely hold her balance in a regular 3-inch stiletto, and now visualize her teetering through a New York sidewalk on top of 2 miniature refrigerators. That is what we witnessed. That is the documentary footage that has been circulating. Pap was holding her hand like a man escorting his grandmother through a hospital hallway, and even with that death grip, baby, she still looked one cracked sidewalk tile away from a 911 call. I'm telling you, the EMTs in Brooklyn was watching this outfit on Instagram like, get the stretcher ready, fellas. Tonight is going to be a long shift. And let me tell you what really crawled under my skin, because this is where the layers start peeling back. Those shoes were so massive, so chunky, so architecturally aggressive, that her feet looked like they belonged to a small power forward in the NBA. I'm not even joking. I had to do a double take. I had to zoom in. I had to ask my whole team, are y'all seeing the same thing I'm seeing? Because girl, them feet was looking like they could palm a basketball through a chain link backboard. We talking Kevin Durant proportions. We talking Shaquille O'Neal real estate. We talking, sir, are you sure you in the right WNBA draft? And don't get me started on the hands, because once your eye travels up from those colossal soles, you start noticing how her wrists is matching the energy. Sister got the grip strength of a wide receiver running routes in December. She could open up every spaghetti sauce jar in the entire bodega and not even need to tap the lid on the counter. Pap better hold on tight, because if she ever decides to throw hands during a disagreement, that man is getting tossed clean across the living room. Let me tell you what those shoes resembled, because this part is going to take a minute. I had to make a list. I had to compile evidence. I had to consult with my visual research department, which is just me and 3 cups of coffee, but still. First off, those shoes looked like a couple of clown stilts somebody stole from a circus tent in the middle of the night. They had that whole tall, awkward, top-heavy energy that screamed, I belong in a parade, not on a sidewalk. Second, they looked like a pair of small kitchen appliances. I'm talking blenders. I'm talking food processors.
Damn.
I'm talking that little waffle
That's
iron
bad.
your grandma keeps on the bottom shelf next to the canned peaches. Third, and this one took me out, they looked like Tupperware. Yes,
Damn.
Tupperware. The heel was shaped like a soup bowl, and the toe was shaped like a cereal cup. And if you flipped that whole shoe upside down, I swear to you, you could serve potato salad at the family reunion. Add a spoon, and you got yourself a place setting for 4. And the comparisons just kept coming because the internet would not let it rest. People was saying them shoes looked like cartoon footwear from old Saturday morning episodes.
Damn.
Like, remember Fat Albert and them rascals from the junkyard?
Yep.
Remember the chunky cartoon sneakers them characters used to bounce around in?
Yep.
That was the energy. People was saying it looked like she stepped out of an animated commercial for kids' breakfast cereal.
Damn.
Other folks was saying it looked like she borrowed something out of an Austin Powers fever dream. You know, that
Shit.
whole psychedelic spy comedy aesthetic where
Damn.
everything gotta be 10 times louder than necessary.
Right.
One commenter said, and I quote, them shoes look like they cost $1 bazillion trillion, and I have not been able to stop laughing since. Now y'all already know I keep it a buck, so let me share what was running through my brain when I first saw the pictures. My very first thought before I even opened my mouth was, Sis paid for these? Because there is no way. There is no possible way she walked into a boutique, picked up a pair of mini countertops, looked the salesperson dead in the eye and said, wrap these up. Nope. I refuse to believe it. The way I see it, those shoes had to have been gifted. Some shady designer, some unknown brand trying to break into the influencer market, looked her dead in the face and said, we need somebody crazy enough to wear these in public. We need somebody bold enough. We need a celebrity with the kind of confidence that don't quit. And Caressa, bless her heart, raised her hand, jumped to the front of the line and said, pick me, I'll do it. And here we are. Here we are watching the consequences of that decision in 4K resolution. And speaking of confidence, let me tell you something. Them shoes definitely give a woman a height boost she did not earn, did not work for, and was not prepared to handle. That's the type of platform that turns a 5'4" girl into a 6-foot tower of regrettable choices. Her head was practically scraping the doorframe of the building she walked out of. Pap looked like he was being towered over by his own fiancé, and that's a sight I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. The man stands respectable. He's not a short king, but next to her in those launch pads, baby, he was looking up like a kid asking his mama for permission to cross the street. The whole optical illusion was throwing off the entire photo composition. Wedding photographers across the tri-state area was sweating bullets thinking, if she wears those down the aisle, we're gonna need a wide-angle lens and a step ladder. Now here's the part that really pushed me over the edge. The shoes was so big, so chunky, so inexplicably geometric, that they looked weaponized. I'm not playing. They looked like something you'd swing in a back alley brawl. They looked like you could break them apart and use them as nunchucks. They looked like the heel could detach, flip over, and become a personal taser for emergencies. I genuinely believe, and this is just my opinion, not legal advice, that them shoes could not legally be worn through airport security. TSA would have one look at them, hit the alarm, and call the bomb squad. They look heavier than carry-on luggage. Forget the 50-pound checked bag fee. She would be paying overweight charges for her own footwear. Let me throw another comparison at y'all because I'm not done. Them shoes look like little houses. Little tiny doll houses with a heel attached. Remember that nursery rhyme about the old woman who lived in a shoe and had so many children she didn't know what to do? Yeah, that's the inspiration board. That's the mood board. Caressa pulled directly from Mother Goose and said, I want this energy in adult footwear form. And honestly, with the square footage on those things, she could rent the left shoe out as a 1-bedroom apartment in Bushwick for $2,000 a month, utilities not included. And don't think I forgot about the fairy tale references either, because somebody in the comments said it best. Them shoes look like the brick house the big bad wolf couldn't blow down. 3 Little Pigs energy. Sturdy. Reinforced. Foundation made of cement and bad decisions. And listen, I want to talk about her feet for a second, because I know I touched on it earlier, but baby, this needs to be its own segment. The way that footwear was hugging her foot was concerning. Most chunky platform shoes leave a little extra room in the front, a little bit of design space at the back, for the aesthetic. Hers filled to the brim, maxed out, stuffed. The shoe was fitting her foot like a glove fits a hand. Toe to heel, completely accounted for. Which means, sis, your foot is, in fact, that long. We not making it up. We not exaggerating. The data is the data. And I love a tall woman with a strong frame. Please don't twist my words, but when the salesperson at the shoe store has to ring you up under feet instead of foot, singular, plural, both, we got a situation on our hands. I can hear the clerk now. Ma'am, that'll be charged as 4 feet, not 2. Because how you measure something that long with regular math? You can't. You gotta switch to the metric system. You gotta break out a yardstick. You gotta call a surveyor. Now I want to take a quick pause here, and I want y'all to drop a comment in the section below, because I need to know. Am I tripping? Am I being too harsh? Did I miss the memo where Tupperware shoes became the new Birkin bag? Because if this is the trend, baby, I need to be informed. I need a press release. I need a Fashion Week update. Somebody send me the link to the runway show where these clunky catastrophes was being modeled, because I missed the entire announcement. Drop a 1 in the comments if you think I'm right. Drop a 2 if you think Caressa actually understood the assignment. Drop a 3 if you got jokes of your own that need to be added to the roast pile. I'm reading every single one. I'm responding to the spicy ones. We building community in this comment section, and I want all the smoke. Now, while I'm at it, let me address Papoose directly, because somebody had to walk out the front door with this woman, and that somebody was Pap. Sir, King, my brother in lyricism. How did you let her leave the apartment in those? You mean to tell me she came out the bedroom in head-to-toe purple Kool-Aid couture, balanced on top of 2 fish tanks shaped like shoes, and you didn't say a single word? Not one. You just grabbed your keys and said, "You ready, babe?" Sir, I refuse. I refuse to believe a man with that much rap experience, that much street wisdom, that much lyrical precision, looked at that getup and thought, yeah, this is the one. Either you complimented her, which means you lied through your teeth, and now we can't trust nothing else you say, or you stayed silent, which is just as bad because silence is consent in the fashion criminal court. Either way, you guilty, my brother. You complicit. You holding the bag. Literally. Because somebody had to carry her purse while she was wobbling around on those countertops. And let me say this with my whole chest. I would have never let my woman walk out the door looking like a runaway prop from a community theater production. The second she came down the stairs, I'd have said, "Ma'am, march yourself right back upstairs and pick a different fit, because we are not feeding the internet trolls today. We are not. Not on my watch. That's love. That's protection. That's loyalty. And what we got from Pap instead was what looked like a man too tired, too defeated, or too rich to care anymore. Maybe all 3. Maybe the man done seen so much over the years that nothing surprises him no more. Maybe he just looked at her, sighed deep, and said to himself, Lord, give me strength to make it through this dinner reservation. Now you'll already know I'm a fair person. I love giving a balanced perspective. So let me try, and I mean really try, to find the silver lining in this fashion thunderstorm. Maybe Caressa was making a statement. Maybe this was avant-garde. Maybe this was performance art. Maybe she's actually 3 steps ahead of the rest of us. And in 6 months, every magazine cover gonna be featuring grape-colored disco suits and microwave-shaped heels. Maybe the joke is on me. Maybe the joke is on you. Maybe she is the future, and we are the dinosaurs. But baby, even with all that benefit of the doubt poured generously over the situation, I still cannot make it make sense. I cannot. The math ain't matting. The drip ain't dripping. The vision is blurry, my friend. Blurry, blurry. Blurry like a pirated DVD from 2003. And don't get me started on the practicality of walking around in those things. Sister cannot sit down. I'm telling you, there is no chair, no booth, no bar stool in the city of New York that can comfortably accommodate the geometry of those heels. She gotta stand all night. She gotta lean against walls. She gotta hover like a giraffe in the zoo, because giraffes don't really sit either, and I'm starting to think them shoes was modeled after the same skeletal structure. National Geographic Wildlife Edition. Subscribe to that channel for more wild animal facts. But subscribe to mine first, because we ain't done with this story yet. Now I want to address the people who say, you being mean. Leave her alone. Let her live. I hear you. I respect you. I love you. But baby, this is the internet. This is what we signed up for. This is what celebrities walk into the moment they put on those red carpet lights and pose for the cameras. The criticism is part of the deal. It's in the fine print of the fame contract. You don't want the smoke, don't strike the match. And Caressa lit a whole bonfire today. She didn't just step out. She invited the whole cookout to come roast her by the fire pit. So when y'all see me commenting, when y'all see me cracking jokes, when y'all see the comment section going crazy, just understand that this is how we engage. This is the culture. This is how we celebrate the wins and politely critique the losses. And what she had on today was, without question, a loss. A double overtime loss with no overtime points. A blowout. A massacre. But also, and And I want to say this with sincerity for one quick moment, because I'm not all jokes. I do hope she takes this in stride. I do hope she laughs along with us. I do hope she knows that the criticism is coming from a place of love, from a place of wanting better, from a place of seeing her potential. Because she's a beautiful woman. She's intelligent. She's accomplished. She got a real platform. And we want to see her stunt for real, with a fit that matches the energy we know she got. We want to see her shut down a red carpet, not become the meme of the week. So Caressa, sis, if your team is watching this video, and let's be real, your team probably is because everybody got Google alerts these days, please, hire a stylist. Just one trained professional who can walk into your closet, throw a few things in the donation bin, and steer you in a direction that doesn't end up trending on Twitter for all the wrong reasons. We're rooting for you. The whole village is rooting for you. We just need you to meet us halfway. And now, before I close out this entire commentary session, I gotta give credit where credit is due. The internet has been undefeated when it comes to roasting these shoes. Undefeated. The jokes that have come out the comments today have been world class. People have been calling those heels everything from stomp boxes to DJ booths to miniature speakers. Somebody said they look like she's wearing a pair of Bluetooth speakers from Best Buy. Somebody else said they look like jukeboxes. Like you press a button on the side and Earth, Wind, and Fire start playing. Y'all are a different kind of hilarious, and I love every single one of you for it. The comedy has been free, the timing has been perfect, and the writers' rooms in late-night television could learn a thing or two from this comment section. Let me hit you with a few more hot takes before we wrap this up, because I'm not done. I will not be done until I have exhausted every single angle of this fashion catastrophe. Number 1, them shoes look like they got a battery compartment. Like you flip them over, and there's a little panel for AAS. Number 2, them shoes look like they come with an instruction manual. 300 pages, available in 4 languages, includes a customer support hotline. Number 3, them shoes look like they could pick up local AM radio stations. Number 4, them shoes look like they got a USB port. Number 5, them shoes look like they qualify for Social Security. They've been working overtime carrying this woman around all day. They deserve a retirement plan. Number 6, them shoes look like they belong in a museum of industrial machinery, not a pair of feet. Number 7, and this is my final one, them shoes look like they should be in the weight room, racked next to the dumbbells, because if you lift one of those, sis, you getting a whole upper body workout. Free gym membership, built right into the heel. So that, my beautiful tea-sipping audience, is where I'ma leave it for tonight. We have analyzed, we have dissected, we have roasted, we have laughed until our jaws hurt, and we have, hopefully, sent enough collective energy into the universe that somewhere out there, Caressa Shields is reconsidering her relationship with that section of her closet. If this video reaches her, and let's be honest, the algorithm got a way of finding everybody, please, sis, take notes. Take notes from the trolls, take notes from the loyalists, take notes from your real ones. We want to see you flourish. We want to see you serve the looks we know you capable of serving. And we definitely don't want to see those shoes ever again. Burn them. Donate them. Drop them off the Brooklyn Bridge in the middle of the night when nobody's watching. Just get them out the rotation, ma'am. Out. Forever. Permanently. Now, if you made it this far in the video, you already know what time it is. Smash that thumbs up. Click that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you never miss a single tea spill on this channel. Drop your favorite roast in the comments. Tag me in your reaction posts on every single social media platform. Share this with every group chat that needs a laugh tonight. And come back tomorrow because the way these celebrities been moving lately, baby, we got fresh content every 24 hours. The well does not run dry. The tea does not get cold. The receipts keep coming. And I will be right here with the spoon, ready to stir every single pot. Until next time, this is your favorite commentator signing off, sending love to my real ones, and reminding y'all one more time. Please, please, please do not, under any circumstances, ever buy them grape Tupperware countertop nunchuck stilts. Not on my watch. Not on yours. Not on God's green Brooklyn earth. Bye, babies. Talk soon.